You're sitting at your desk trying to focus. The room is perfectly quiet. This should be ideal, right? But instead of concentrating, your mind is everywhere. You're thinking about what you need to buy at the grocery store, that conversation from 3 days ago, and whether dolphins have accents. You can't focus on anything. So you put on music, or you turn on a YouTube video in the background, or you go to a coffee shop where there's noise and movement. And suddenly, miraculously, you can focus. Your brain clicks into gear, and the work starts flowing. But then someone walks in and says, "How can you concentrate with all that noise?" And you feel embarrassed, like you're doing something wrong, like you should be able to focus in silence like everyone else. If this is you, I need you to stop feeling broken. Your brain is not malfunctioning, it's just wired differently. And today, we're going to look at the neuroscience of why your ADHD brain actually needs noise to focus. To understand this, we need to talk about a concept called the optimal stimulation theory. Every brain has a sweet spot of stimulation where it performs best. For most people, that sweet spot is a quiet environment with minimal distractions. But for the ADHD brain, that sweet spot is different. Your brain has lower levels of baseline dopamine and norepinephrine. These are the neurotransmitters responsible for attention, motivation, and alertness. When your environment is too quiet, your brain is actually understimulated. It's like trying to tune into a radio station, but the signal is too weak. So your brain starts searching for stimulation anywhere it can find it. That's why your mind wanders. It's not that you're distracted, it's that your brain is desperately trying to reach its optimal stimulation level. But when you add background noise, something fascinating happens. The noise raises your baseline stimulation just enough to bring your brain into that sweet spot. Suddenly, the signal is clear. You can focus. This is called stochastic resonance. It's a phenomenon where adding the right amount of noise to a weak signal actually makes the signal stronger. Think of it like this. Imagine you're trying to see a faint star in the night sky. If the sky is completely black, the star is hard to see. But if there's a little bit of ambient light, just enough contrast, the star becomes visible. That's what background noise does for your ADHD brain. It creates the contrast you need to focus on the task in front of you. But not all noise works the same way. The key is that the noise needs to be predictable and non demanding. Music with lyrics can be distracting because your brain tries to process the words. But instrumental music, white noise, brown noise, or the ambient sound of a coffee shop works perfectly. These sounds occupy just enough of your brain's attention seeking system without demanding active processing. So, how do you use this to your advantage? First, stop fighting your need for noise. Accept that your brain works differently, and that's okay. Silence is not superior, it's just different. Second, experiment with different types of background noise. Try lo fi music, nature sounds, brown noise, or even a TV show you've seen 100 times playing in the background. Find what works for your brain. Third, create a focus playlist. Curate a specific set of sounds that you only use when you're working. Over time, your brain will associate those sounds with focus, making it even easier to get into flow state. Fourth, use the coffee shop effect strategically. If you can't go to an actual coffee shop, there are apps and websites that simulate that ambient noise. The combination of gentle movement, low level conversation, and background music creates the perfect stimulation level for many ADHD brains. And finally, stop apologizing for how your brain works. When someone questions why you need noise to focus, you don't owe them an explanation. But if you want to give one, you can simply say, "My brain processes information differently. This helps me focus." Here's what I want you to remember: your need for background noise is not a weakness. It's not a sign that you're easily distracted or that you lack discipline. It's a feature of how your brain is wired. And when you work with your brain instead of against it, you unlock a level of focus and creativity that others can't access. So put on your headphones, turn on that noise, and stop feeling guilty for giving your brain what it needs to thrive.